Hey lovers, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber here, thank you for subscribing, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking around. If you are yet to subscribe, make sure that you subscribe and join this beautiful and lovely community. Thank you all so much for all of the love, the engagement, the beautiful messages on my last video. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. This video today, I want to share with you how I applied for my husband's visa. Many of you know that myself and my husband, we don't stay together, and we've never really lived together. He came visiting one time for one of his examination, and he just spent a few days and that was it. So we've never really lived together. So I saw that in my last video, some of you were interested in how I applied for his visa. A particular lady even said that she just got married in December and she will be applying for her husband's visa. So she wanted to know how I did it. So in this video, that is what I will be showing you: how to apply for your partner's visa or a dependent visa. There are certain things that you need to put in place, because I think I've seen sometimes on my Twitter that some people got their partner's visa denied. That's so much for those who have even lived together. Talk more. We that met online, all our life has been online, and we had a lot to prove. So in this video, I will give you a step-by-step breakdown of how I applied for my husband's visa. If this kind of update interests you, kindly keep watching this video. First step in applying for this visa, which is your partner's visa, is first of all identifying the right visa, because a lot of these visa applications, they look really similar and they look alike, and if you apply for the wrong visa, you definitely know the outcome of that visa application. So it's really essential that you know the type of visa that you're applying for. And if you're applying to bring your partner from Nigeria or from any other country that is not in the UK, but you reside in the UK, because I reside in the UK, so you are applying from within the UK, right? Yeah, but you're applying for your partner who is outside of the UK. Okay, so you are applying as if it is your partner that is applying. So when you're selecting that option, you're selecting that you are applying from outside of the UK. Okay, even though you are applying on the behalf of your partner, I always recommend that you apply for your partner so that you can monitor the progress of the application, which is what I did. But it is you applying as you're logging in as if they are the one that has logged in, applying for that visa. I just feel like it's easier for you because you've lived in the UK, so you understand some terms better than your partner. So the visa that you're applying for is basically under the category that is called the PBS, Startup, Innovator, or Global Talent Partner Visa. That is the visa category where your partner visa is located. Okay, and this is the visa you will be applying for, and this visa costs around $366 US.
So in this video's description, I'll drop you the direct link for this application. And once you copy this link onto your browser, this is what will come up on your screen. Where are you planning to live? So you select England or wherever country you're planning to live, which I have selected. And the next question will be, do you have a current EU or EEA or Swiss passport? You don't have it, so you select no. And then you go to the next question, which is you need to confirm your visa type. And I told you earlier, your visa type is under the partner dependent visa, startup, innovator, or global talent dependent visa. So you select that is the visa you are applying for. Then you continue your application. Once you select the option, it will take you again back to this question: where are you planning to live? Select England and continue again. It will also ask you the other question: do you have a current EU, EEA, or Swiss passport? No, you do not. Select that and continue. And then now it brings you to this full page. It asks you to select the country where you want to do your biometric. And remember, my darlings, you are applying for your partner, so you need to select the country where they will be able to go for their biometrics, and to submit their application, do their stamp, their fingerprinting, and all of that necessary things done at the visa application center. So my husband's own is Nigeria, so I type in Nigeria, and it asks you to select your TLS contact. That's where you go for that's a visa center, and it will tell you if you have identified your location is in Abuja. So I said, oh yes, I've identified it, and then it will bring you back to this all dependent visa page. So this page tells you that you're on the right visa application. So it says use this form to apply from outside the UK as a partner of a person who has a visa, or that person is applying for one of the following visas. So for instance, in my own situation, I have a skilled worker health and care visa, and my partner doesn't have anything. He's currently in Nigeria, right? So and I'm applying on his behalf. So this is the form I will use. Remember, I told you your partner is outside the UK. Even though you are the one doing the application for him or for her, they are outside the UK. You are selecting outside the UK. The whole application, you are doing it as if they are the ones that have logged in to do it. And if you want, they can do it by themselves. But to make things easier and faster for you, I encourage that you do it for them. But you are applying as if they are the ones that have logged in to do it. Okay. So for you to do this application, or for them to do the application by themselves, they're going to need they need to make sure that they have their partner's details. So it needed to make sure that it has my own details, but I'm doing it right, so I have all these details. So you're going to need they're going to need me. So I needed my my passport details, right? But if they're doing it by themselves, this is what they will need. And either you are filling it for them online too, doing it for them, like you logged in as if they are the one. This is all the things that you will also need. And if you're a student, if you're a worker, you're going to need your certificate of sponsorship. They will need your certificate, your sponsor license number. And if it is a student, they will need your confirmation of acceptance for study, that's CAS details, including the sponsor license number. And this is going to give you an easy guide on how to apply. You need to complete the application form, answer them in English. You do not need to pay extra charge. I did not need to pay extra charge, and we are going to get to that. Okay. The visa fee that you're going to pay online is $366, which I think I mentioned earlier. And also you provide biometric. You go for your biometric. So this is just to give you a brief detail of what you will go through in your application.
Remember, I said that apply for this visa as if they are the ones applying, but you are applying from outside the UK. So it means that you need to have access to their email address, because you need to create a UKVI account for them. So you need to have your partner needs to have a valid email address for you to start this application. And that email address, they must be ready to give you the login details for this email address, because you will be monitoring the application as if they are the ones that have applied. I'm going to try as much as possible to make this video really explanatory, even though I don't want it to be a long. You need their passport data page, because they'll be asking for a lot of information, and every information you're providing needs to match what is exactly on their passport data page. Okay, the date of birth, where they applied for their visa, their full name. So the way the name is on the passport is exactly the way you will put it in every application. So I'm going to make a simple example. For example, if your partner's name is Ikechukwu, say Ikechukwu Samuel Azan, right? Ikechukwu is the first name, Samuel is the middle name, and Azan is the surname, right? In most of this application, they won't ask you for middle name, but when you're filling the first name, you will write Ikechukwu and Samuel together, and then you put the surname Azan. That way, it is exactly the way it is on your passport data. You need their home address, all of their home address, and you're going to need national ID. I realized that while we were filling this application, there was a place that we were asked for national ID, but it then said date issued, date is expired. But our national ID from Nigeria, if you're a Nigerian watching this video, it doesn't have an expiry date. So we ended up just selecting no, that it doesn't have a national identity card. So if you get to that point and you're worried about, oh, date it was issued, expiry date for a national ID, just select no, because our ID doesn't expire. So that means you don't have what they're asking for. So select no. So you're going to need your marriage certificate. Okay, you need information on your marriage certificate, and you will also need to upload your marriage certificate as part of your supporting evidence. We need a VAF. This is a number that is written on your own visa. So when you came into the UK, I came into the UK in 2019, and this VAF number is located on my VIGNet. That's a stamp, the visa, the real visa that brought me into the United Kingdom. Okay, even though that visa has expired, I have renewed it several times, but that VAF is standard. Or your unique application number. Maybe you already knew that your partner will come, and when you were applying, you already included tell them that they are coming, because me, I didn't know, because we just met now. So but if in case for your own case is different, you can use UAN. That's your unique application number, and that VAF for UAN or GW, whatever GWF or whatever number you're using, is only to connect your applications together. One very amazing benefit of partner dependent visa is that your partners, they are like free bird. They can work any hours, they can work anywhere, they can do anything. They are as free as a bird. Okay, because they are under you, they are under your banner, and they can just do anyhow. Okay. So now, because we have never lived together, you will also need to have a screenshot of your chat history. So we have never lived together. Yeah, if you have lived together, you are still chatting, you still need to show them evidence that even though you guys are apart, you've been communicating, you've been talking, you've been chatting, you've been taking pictures, you've been doing video calls and everything. Now for this one, please and please make sure that you remember to change your partner's name on that, your partner's name on your chat history. Not my love, or not my husband. You need to change it to their real name, the name on their international passport. You need to change it. Not my love or Obim or any other name. Make sure it is the name, the official name, the name on their passport identity, their passport ID, the international passport is the one that has to be on that chat history. So you need to change their name on your WhatsApp to their real original name that their parents named them. Any other evidence that you have? Maybe it came to the UK for vacation, or it came sometimes you came to visit. Any information that will support that you guys were still in a cordial, in a real relationship, even though you were apart. You need to provide that. They're also going to ask you for evidence of why you were even living apart. So your evidence might be, maybe you lived apart because you were studying, or you lived apart because you had to go for a quick business trip or something. For me, my own evidence was that my job as a nurse was what took me to the UK, right? And we met online. Why? You have to be as truthful as possible, right? Because they will get all this evidence is what they will use to judge your application, right? So my own evidence was my employment contract as a nurse while I came to work in the UK, and I also provided some pay slip just to back it up, to show my I'm earning enough to support myself and my partner. I also had to request or apply for a maintenance letter. Maintenance letter comes from your employer, so it means that your employer is an employer that offered you certificate of sponsorship to work in the United Kingdom. So your employer, that certificate of sponsorship allows you to bring in your family member. So you need to apply to your employer by providing your partner's full detail and your own full detail, the detail exactly as it is on the passport. Provide them with that detail, and then they will give you a maintenance letter. Maintenance letter exempts you from providing proof of fund, exempts you from providing IHS, CTC, and all. You do not need IELTS for this visa. Before you start your application, there's certain things I also want you to take into consideration, because you already know you will start your application, right? You will need, if you are Nigerian, and I think most international, applicants, right? Your partner will need to provide TB test report. If it is Nigeria, you need to go to Google and search for IOM. That's the center that deals with all your international, anything that has to do with, medicals, especially your TB test. Okay, so you need to visit Google and search for your own location. If you're in Abuja, if you're in Lagos, there are different branches. And then you will need to call them or send them an email to book an appointment for your TB test. And the TB test costs around 57,800 naira. I think when I did mine in 2019, it was around 50,000 or something, or 55,000. So not so bad. So it's still 57,800 naira. You need to book that, schedule your appointment, and make sure that you're on time for your appointment. You don't follow the time on your appointment, but if you arrive early, you'll be given numbers as long as you have an appointment for that day. Just make sure you're present for your appointment. You also need to provide police reports. Yeah, police certificate or DBS or whatever it's called in your country. It costs around, I think, 50,000 naira. That's if you are getting someone to apply for you. I think if you're applying by yourself, it's 25,000. But I will advise you, if you don't want, that in Nigeria, if you don't want to delay yourself, The crooked way is the best way. So you apply for that, and then once you've gotten all of this, you know you're set to go, because these are all the requirements that you need. Make sure you also apply for your maintenance letter before you complete your application, because you will have a checklist of all the things you need to provide. Your maintenance letter, you need it to provide it as your proof of, you know, why you lived away apart from each other, and why you don't need to provide a proof of fund. You are the sponsor. You're the one sponsoring your spouse. Okay, so you provide maintenance letter from your employer. You provide your employment letter, your contract letter with your employer. We can also support with some recent pay slip, maybe about 3 months recent pay slip, to show that you have enough fund to support you and your partner. You also need to provide the TB test. These are the things that you need to provide from your own side. You need to provide you guys chat history if you've never lived together, your chat history, video call, everything. Make sure you change it to his name or her name. You also need to have, of course, get ready the TB test, the police report, and every other details or information that I have asked you for or I have mentioned earlier. Once you're done filling the application, right, you then need to book an appointment. I encourage you to download your application so you have an history of all the things that you filled in case of any time that you need to recon all those information. Okay, so download your application and download your checklist, which has a list of things that you need to provide and everything you need to take to your appointment so you don't get delayed unnecessarily. So you then need to book your appointment with TLS. Booking an appointment with TLS, which is the contact if you're in Nigeria, that's where you go for your visa appointment and all of that. It was a bit funny, right? Because you have to pay for something for you to log out of that, for you to check out of that website. So I encourage you, please don't pay for them to upload your documents. Pay for self-service so that you can upload your documents online and you don't need to carry physical documents around. So you can upload every of your documents online, but you need to take your passport page, of course, to the center, because you need to drop that, isn't it, for your visa to be stamped. Yeah, but every other document, your marriage certificate, employment contract, every other thing, you will upload it online. Make sure you select self service, then select premium lounge. Pay for premium lounge so that it's easy. Your husband or your partner or your wife, they go in and they go out very quick. TLS contact, their own costs around 87,900 naira for your TLS appointment booking. I don't know if this is similar. This was for TLS contact in Abuja. I don't know if this is the same with Lagos or the same with wherever you're applying from, but this was the case for Abuja. To follow up with them going for their appointment. Once you do these things the right way, you will be fine. And expect your partner's, visa to be coming out in the next 3 to 5 working days. If you still have any question, please feel free to ask those questions in the comment section. So I hope that I managed to answer most of your questions. I see you next time. Bye. Cheers.